You are watching
Rarely Reserved,
a Star Wars Shatterpoint podcast.
I am Charles, also known as Omnis.
And I am Sin, matriarch of the Beep Boop, aficionado of little guys. And I'm here to remind you the only thing better than Star Wars lore is a good Star Wars door.
I'm impressed at how well you remembered Pure's little intro.
It was very catchy. So
Yeah.
I was like, I think I read it once and I was like, I'm locked in.
He did say Beep Boop matriarch, not matriarch of the Beep Boop. I kind of like Beep Boop matriarch. I kind of want you to change your name on the Discord to Beep Boop matriarch.
Beep Boop matriarch. That's fair. Yeah.
But all right, Dylan, you're next up. You gotta write one for next.
Write the intros.
I think Pure originally envisioned it like he had to write one of those for both of us. I was like, no, this is fine. Because there's a little question like also like where do you want us to insert it? Do you want it to be right after like, oh, we're a Shatterpoint podcast, blah 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 blah.
Sure.
Or
get a little bit later in.
Or if it's, after we introduce ourselves or what. And I have some fun with that, but I thought it would be an interesting thing to mess around with. But back from how was Disney Star Wars Land?
Well, I got one day to do it in between all of the work I had to do down there. And I very purposely didn't look into anything that was there. I wanted it to be kind of like a surprise.
Oh, just go, kind of go fly by the seat of your pants.
Exactly.
You Han Solo'd that shit.
I did. Like, I'm not going to look, I'm not going to Google anything.
Yeah.
And so I went with Constantine, who had been before, but hadn't got to do everything while he was there.
Yeah.
And it was a blast. We did
a blast.
We did the newer ride, the one with like Rey and Kylo Ren. And that was, I think I had the most childlike grin on my face the whole time. I when we were in line, people were saying, oh, like sometimes people wait like 3 hours to do this. And I was like, I wouldn't wait 3 hours to do anything. Yeah. And then I did it and I was like, I get it. This was the coolest thing ever. And because it's not just a ride. It's kind of like an experience where part of it's a ride. And so I was like, this is amazing. I must come back and do this again.
Yeah, I went there just a little bit before the Star Wars stuff was like really unfolding and Galaxy's Edge hasn't been made yet. I think it was like under construction at the time. And I did Star Tours. And even that put like a childlike grin on my face. And I can only imagine, like I, as someone who is just a creative person, I can immediately go, I can imagine all the ways that you could make this like so much crazier.
Yeah. Well, even like you get like all of the drinks are Star Wars themed. And they even changed the terminals to have like, they're not just like regular card terminals. Yeah. All the screens show like Star Wars styled stuff. So it's like you're just totally locked in. I built a lightsaber. They got me to buy it. I'm
a little sad you didn't bring it. I
don't have it yet.
You like shipped it to yourself?
Yeah. Because I didn't like want to check a lightsaber. Yeah. I felt like they'd break it. So it's on its way. Along with I adopted an Ewok.
Yeah. What did you name your Ewok?
I haven't named him anything yet. I have a few ideas, but and then the thing that I was there to work was D23, which is Disney's big convention, and a few booths down from us was Build-A-Bear, and you know what one of the Build-A-Bears was?
Ewok?
A Grogu.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, okay, I haven't really, interacted with this much, but I'll just pick him up. And he's the softest thing on the planet. And it was so funny because I'm like, I'm buying this. He's also shipped with the lightsaber, so he's not here yet. I'm like, I'm buying this. He's going to sit right next to me. Yeah,
definitely. I could see you cuddling like a soft Grogu on the show.
He's so soft. And it was really funny because like he's a Build-A-Bear. And they do the whole thing. Like you sew him up with, and they made me do, well, I say made me, they went through the little heartbeat thing with me with Grogu. And it was so funny. I'll get into this. Like, I don't really have anymore. I think I used to, but I don't really have a cringe thing anymore. Yeah. So I'll sit there and do the like rub it on your shoulders as you're never gonna, whatever. And so I did that whole thing, and then I put a strawberry scent in him. because you can get scented things. So I have a strawberry scented Grogu. And at the end, the person at the checkout, who's different from the person doing the thing, was like, "Oh, did you get this for anyone?" And I was like, "Nope."
You're like,
this
yes,
is for me.
By anyone, I mean, moi.
The most important person I know, me. Yeah, so that's on its way. I'm very excited about that. And I also got some other cool Star Wars stuff. I got a shirt that I will be at LVO. I'll be working, but I will be at LVO. I got a shirt that I'm dying to show Aubrey and Todd. And I imagine they've both seen it. But they must see this shirt. Okay. So anyway, they've
never seen it on you, so
that's true. It'll be mind blowing.
Yeah.
And I got some cute pictures of myself while I was there, and I had because what was so funny is I got these big white mouse ears, and I posted them in the Discord. And
I'll put up a little picture of her by the cool door with the mouse ears. Do you want the door, or do you want your
either door or Ewok?
I'll do both.
Sure.
We'll put both of them.
So I got these big white Disney mouse ears.
Yeah.
Which was funny because when I was picking out the mouse ears, first of all, Constantine already didn't expect me to want to wear mouse ears. He was like, "What?" It's like, no, I need the whole experience. I haven't been to Disneyland really ever. I went once when I was like a preteen, so it doesn't really, I don't remember. And so I'm like, I want the full experience. I want to get the mouse ears. So we're like they had a funny name for it, but it was like the store for all the mouse ears. And he found ones that were like Halloween themed. They had, because like it's August, so they have Halloween stuff. So they're like black with little spiders on them. And I was like, no, I want these white and pastel ears.
It worked for you, not gonna lie. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised by the Halloween stuff. Yeah, but the pastel worked for you too.
Well, I think now that I'm blonde, the pastel works really well. But it was so funny because I ended up sitting in the lobby of our hotel, and I hadn't changed, so I was wearing my Disneyland outfit and the white ears. And my boss came into the lobby because we were staying at the same hotel. He came into the lobby and walked right by me.
Yeah,
just. And I was
not enough black.
Yeah, apparently. And so he walked right by me and I was like, "Hello." And he turned around. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize you with the I wouldn't expect this outfit." And I was like, that is so funny. Because I feel like I'm such a highly identifiable person in general. So for him to have just been like, it was really funny. So, and then my other coworker did it the same thing 10 minutes later, just walked right by me because they didn't expect the mouse ears.
What a fine looking specimen.
Right? And so anyway, I had such a great time. the rest of Disney was very cute, but I was absolutely there for Star Wars stuff. Yeah. And I will be coming back to do all of it again. So it was a good time.
That's very, very exciting. I was like, I'm so much of a like, oh, my vacation time is for, conventions and that sort of thing. And I'm like, I really should go back and do Galaxy's Edge. Like,
hey, what? Hook up. I'm going to go in November. Also go in November. We can meet at the park. I think those things are fun to do as groups, especially they have you go in one of them in sections of 3 people anyway. Yeah. So we'll work out. But anyway, like, I think the more the merrier with those sorts of things. So, but it was a really good time. And I'm going to try to make you display my lightsaber.
I was gonna say, like, when you first mentioned, you're like, I have nowhere to put a lightsaber. I was like, I will fucking rearrange things and we'll display. There'll be a lightsaber somewhere. We will figure out a spot if you want your lightsaber on display. Oh yeah,
well, it was so fun. When we were doing the lightsaber, because like you make the lightsaber and they have like dudes there to like help you who would stay in like theme the whole time. Yeah. It's so fun. But the one who was talking to me was like helping me set up and was like, "You have like fangs," and I'm like, "Yep." And you're like, "Okay, vampire," and it just turns around really quick. And then he was like, "So where are you from?" And I'm like, "I was, Seattle." And he goes, "Do you also sparkle?" No. And then they have you
a little bit. Yeah, you sparkle a little bit. Yeah.
But they have you select a kyber crystal, and he like shows me all the options, and I pick a red one, and he's like, Could have guessed you were going to pick.
Not surprised.
Red one.
Not surprised.
But it was it was so fun. And they have like, it's Disney Park, so they have like regular like security, and they have janitors, and they have photographers all standing around, but they're all wearing like super good Star Wars cosplay pretty much. And so like, I wouldn't do this because I'm not a weirdo, but I like kind of wanted to take pictures of them because I'm like, they're in such fun outfits. And I think if I go again in November, I'm totally going to like cosplay some sort of character. Because like a lot of people at Disneyland did do that. And I was like, as long as it's a outfit you can comfortably wear.
They do have rules about adults wearing like actual costumes.
Yeah, it has, but it can be themed like Star Wars. You just can't like be Padme.
Right. Yeah. And it's, when I went was like right in the height of the cosplay stuff that we're doing. So we were like judging all of the costumes there where we were like, no, our Spider-Man's better than that. But then so like their Groot, we were like, holy shit, their Groot is so good in the park.
I really want to do like my own kind of take on like Star Wars type outfit.
Yeah.
I don't want to try to emulate a character.
There's a specific term for it. For the cosplaying at Disneyland where you kind of just like try to create a vibe, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
And there's a really specific term for it, and I totally forgot what it was.
Yeah, I want to do that. But because I was at D23, they had a lot of like professional cosplayers at D23. And there was a group of Night Sisters, but they were being moved by a handler from one place to the other, so I couldn't stop them for a picture.
Oh, that would have been dope.
But it literally stopped me in my tracks. I was like, oh my God, anyway, one of them saw me just like ogling them and like was like, hello. And I was like, ah.
That definitely would have been something I would have loved to see you snap a picture
it was
with the
just,
Night Sisters.
It was really cool. I was definitely in awe of everything. I haven't been since for 15 years. And when we did go we didn't do the Star Wars thing, I don't think. So like, that was completely novel for me, and it definitely like reignited a love for Star Wars. So I was like, I've always had that, but then like there's something about like experiencing it that is like, oh shit, I like really, really love this. This is awesome. So I think I will be spending more time with some Star Wars media but especially if I want to have my own Star Warsy outfit that again is not a character, but perhaps
I would love to provide insight and maybe even.
Well, I talked to Erica about it, and Erica has done cosplay stuff. She knows how to sew.
Yeah.
So she's like, you don't even have to just try to find stuff that already exists. You can like, because I know how to like draw, and I'm pretty good with design stuff. So I'm like, I could literally like conceptualize an outfit. Oh, and then I could wear it on the show.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not.
If I can do this in the next like few weeks, I could wear it at LVO.
That would be pretty.
I don't
sweet.
have a staff uniform that I'm required to wear. Yeah, because I am the show manager.
Yeah, I all prop work and stuff gets kind of complicated and time consuming, so I don't want to overcommit to anything. But
I don't need.
There are props that I can work on. And I'm a pretty reasonable leather worker.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if your costume needs like a belt or something, like that is something we could potentially arrange.
Ooh. I will get on this. I will get on this. They had there, and I almost bought it, except I realized I was like not in love with the fabric that they chose. Yeah. But they had apparently, and I confirmed with the staff there, Ahsoka's cloak from the show.
Yeah.
And I was like this close to getting it, but it was just a fabric that I didn't love the feel of. So I was like, I want to wear this, but I know that I won't. So, but like that sort of thing of like, cloaks and lots of folding, like things like that. And like initially I would have thought, oh, I'll just do like a Sith outfit. But, and I think I discussed this with you, but it's pertinent to reestablish. I wore weird pants to work once. And then all of my staff freaked out and were like, oh, "What? You're not wearing black. You're wearing something other than black pants and a black shirt." And I was like, "I've lost my spark. Something wrong has occurred. Sin should be known for being weird." So, I went to the mall with Erica, and I spent way too much money buying an entirely new wardrobe, and I had one rule: no black.
Damn.
So I've purged my closet of the color black. And for at least 6 months, I will be wearing anything other than black. And I will maintain this if I do a Star Wars outfit, nothing black. And so, because I was like, I don't want to be known just for one thing, you know? And I felt like I was falling into too deep of a niche. And so I think that's why I got away from the pink hair too. But I'm like, no. I got to go all the way. I'm going to be blonde boho or something. Like I just need to.
What is a boho?
Bohemian, like style wise.
All right.
And so like I'm going to full commit in the opposite direction. And tying into something we talked about maybe last week or the week before when everyone was saying how unapproachable I am.
Yeah.
Me dressing like this is apparently infinitely more approachable because a bunch of people wanted to talk to me at like Disney and D23 that I think would normally have been maybe intimidated.
Too scared to talk to you.
And I definitely, so I'm like, okay, this works in my favor double because I want to be approachable. So I'm like, no black, 6 months, at least no black for the rest of the year at the very least. And so I have a whole new wardrobe to support this lack of the color black.
Very cool. Well, on the subject of you getting more in touch with your Star Wars side,
yes,
I have a mini game for you. Can you hand me the official Rarely Reserved tablet over there that your soundboard is on?
Ooh.
So
dropped it.
This is lightly inspired by your Star Wars quotes.
Oh, God.
But different.
Are you quizzing me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess kind of. You could call it.
Oh, God.
So I watched a very random like YouTube video, and it was pretty dumb, but it was just one of those where like dude is quizzing his partner who doesn't know shit about Star Wars on which is a Star Wars character, which is not. And I really hated how they did it because it's just like, it was like, oh, do you know that Sauron is a Star Wars character or a Lord of the Rings character? Like, it was really obvious stuff, and it was like meant to like poke fun at her not knowing. It's like all stuff that your average nerd would definitely know the difference of.
Sure.
But while I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I could do this differently. That's not like potentially like poking fun at someone who doesn't know this stuff.
Sure.
And then I was like, it's actually more fair if I make it extremely difficult.
Oh.
Because, so hear me out. So the logic behind this is, if I did it the route where it's like trying to like get you in gotchas and embarrass you, I don't think it's as cool. And I think that's kind of lame. And because like listeners would be like, oh, she doesn't know that character. That's so dumb. But if I make it hard enough that like,
they don't know.
They don't necessarily know. Right? Like they can't hold it against you.
Sure.
So
you're going to hit me with super niche. Okay.
So this is, so basically you're just going to have to say whether you think this is a Star Wars character or not a Star Wars character.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
So we're going to start off with a very easy one just to like warm you up.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There will be ones.
It'll be right here. Yes. Yeah. Definitely a Star Wars character.
Definitely a Star Wars character. I'm familiar.
Next one.
That's Wall-E from the movie Wall-E. This is also Disney, but not Star Wars.
Okay. All right. I've warmed you up. All right. Now we're gonna go into hopefully harder stuff.
Okay.
And all right, if you're watching this, so especially like Aubrey, Accuser, anyone who wants to play along, like pause and like try to see if like I want you guys to guess.
I'll pause before I say anything to give people a chance to pause.
I'm really curious how I tried to make this hard enough that even like the average Star Wars fan could struggle with this.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, all right. First one.
I want to say yes, but I don't know from what.
That's okay. You don't have to know from what. I'll try to so you're going yes, Star Wars? All right. Yes, this is Star Wars. This is not something I think you've seen. I think it's from Mando season 1.
Okay,
this is a random I can't remember if they were a pilot, but they were just like overseeing like a prison ship.
Okay. All right. No, and I, for whatever reason, feel like that's from Jurassic Park. I don't know why.
It is actually. It is from Jurassic World.
A Jurassic World.
I just kind of saw it, and it like threw me enough that I was like, I think someone might think that it's from like Rogue One or like the Andor series or something.
Don't know why, but it's the rain.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense even to myself, but anyway.
I knew that one like might be a giveaway, but all right.
Boo-doo-doo. I'm
What do you
gonna
think?
say no.
No? Okay.
No, it looks like Mad Maxy to me.
All right. It is. That is Mad Max Furiosa.
Hey.
I think that's Furiosa's mom.
Ooh.
I was just thinking that like it had some vibes.
It has like, yeah, very like Star Wars desert vibes.
Okay.
I'm doing so good so far.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with yes on this one. This looks. I have no
what's
idea.
making you think
Okay.
yes?
One, the baubles look very Star Warsy.
Yeah.
And not the guy in the back, but the guy in the front, his helmet looks very Star Wars to me. And the like ripple design on his arm also feels very Star Warsy to me. And I don't have an explanation beyond that.
Yeah, that is Star Wars. That is one of the Knights of Ren.
Oh, it's Ren. Oh, okay. That's funny. Yeah, no, I don't know why the literal arms of that guy's jacket felt very Star Wars.
Okay. Next one. Are you 4 for 4?
I have not failed yet. I'm gonna say not Star Wars.
Not Star Wars.
Yeah.
I thought I might get you with this one. This one is Star Wars.
Oh, it is.
This is Zuckuss.
Zuckuss?
He's on the blanket that you got me for Christmas. He's one of the OG bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that's fair. I think I've only seen that movie once.
This is the character that I argued with my brother about because he has a buddy who's a droid, Forlom, and they're switched on the toy packaging, and they named Zuckuss Forlom and Forlom Zuckuss. And when I saw it as an adult, I was like, oh, they got it wrong on this. And my brother was like,
funny.
Well, no, that's official. And I was like, no, it's wrong.
Zuckuss sounds like if I knew Mark Zuckerberg in high school and I wanted to give him a mean nickname.
Okay.
This feels more Star Trek to me than Star Wars. So I'm going to say no.
No. It is not Star Wars.
Hey.
This is one of the leading characters from Enemy Mine, which is an 80s sci-fi movie. Quite good.
Never heard.
Okay.
All right. Well, he speaks weird. He has a funny sounding voice. He's in Star Wars. He's a little shit, but I don't know what his name is.
And this is Beezer Fortuna, not the one that's in Return of the Jedi. I think he's in Rogue One.
Oh, so it's not the guy I'm thinking of, but it is. Yeah. He's like related.
Yeah, it was meant to be related. They actually like named him after the original name for Bib Fortuna.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, but I don't have a good reason for yes.
You're just like, all right, it's 50-50. We're going Star Wars.
Okay, nothing about this character. It is just the background.
Oh, just the background?
Maybe I'm cheating by going off of the background.
Yeah.
The back, like the building they're in feels Star Warsy.
Okay. It is Star Wars.
Ayo.
I thought I would get you with this one.
You should have blurred the background. Then I would have been screwed.
This is one of the Separatist High Council. This is one of the characters killed by Anakin on Mustafar.
Oh, okay. I must like subconsciously recognize the building.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, this one's background's not going to give me anything.
Maybe I should have put more thought into how the background helps or doesn't help.
I know, right? I'm going off of everything I can go off of. I'm going to say not Star Wars.
Not Star Wars. Mm-hmm. It is not Star Wars. This is one of the Skeletor's troopers from the 80s Masters of the Universe He-Man movie that tried to be a lot like Star Wars.
Okay, funny. Do you know why I thought that wasn't Star Wars?
Why?
The lighting.
Yeah.
That's literally
just different lighting.
Just different lighting.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. I feel like this is a trick question. Is this a trick question? Are those not lightsabers? Am I being goofed here? I'm scared. I'm so scared. Okay, hold on one sec. All right. The background's just vaguely sci-fi, so that's not giving me anything. Although, I feel like Star Wars has different style bay doors, if that's what is behind them. The silhouette, something about it doesn't feel Star Wars to me. So I'm going to say not Star Wars.
Not Star Wars.
I think I might be wrong, though, because but this picture feels designed to mess with my head, so I don't feel bad about my answer.
It is not Star Wars.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing so good.
The character is, I believe, Nemesis from Rebel Moon, which was a Zack Snyder script that was originally meant to be Star Wars, like a rated R Star Wars called Rebel Moon. And so it ended up being like a Netflix like movie series, just sci-fi rated R. It's
okay.
fine, but I think I can see how if he got to go full Star Wars with it, it could have been very cool.
Well, okay. This feels very like, for you 40K people, is this not just an Eldar, half Eldar, half tech priest? Tell me that. Okay. All right. So what I'm thinking, the color scheme feels pretty Star Wars.
Yeah.
The helmet shape is a little unusual. But again, I'm going to lean on the background here. The background feels very Star Wars. So I'm going to say, yes, Star Wars.
It is, in fact, Star Wars. This is one of the characters that was kind of in the background on, I believe, Jakku in Force Awakens. All right. So I believe there was like 11 legit questions, and you got 10 of them right.
I'm so good at guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I made that harder than it was. Did it
I'll be
feel
so real
hard?
with you. If you had blurred every background and put a filter over each one,
Change
so there was
lighting.
the same lighting, I would have been a lot
Should
worse.
I put like a sepia filter on all of the pictures for the video?
For the video?
Make it even harder for them.
If you want them to have difficulty, just throw all of it through a background gradient and then put a light. So just any color tone over it so you can't use lighting, and then they'll be screwed. But I got away with murder here.
I was hoping for a challenge.
But I feel like all this proves that I have an eye for what feels Star Wars-y.
you have a good.
I don't need to know.
I was trying to make it hard.
No,
I was trying to go for shit that either like had a Star Wars feel and stuff that like maybe,
You're absolutely not wrong. I think that Star Wars, though, has done a really good job at making stuff weirdly consistent.
Yeah.
So it was recognizable when it was even slightly different.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but...
So even though you have not watched like that much Star Wars stuff, you feel very connected to like what is the Star Wars vibe.
Yeah, the aesthetic of it feels. I feel connected to the aesthetic of Star Wars, and I do like how that whole universe looks. And as
I sense the dark side in you.
And even as they've brought it like along, it's been like. Well, almost like 50 years of Star Wars, right?
Yeah, it might be next year. It's 50 years.
Yeah.
Right, because wasn't it like, I want to say 77 for A New Hope.
Wow, that's crazy. But it's been about 50 years of Star Wars.
Yeah, 77. Yeah, so
next year is the 70th or 50th year of Star Wars. So
May of 77. So yeah,
the May the 4th party next year is going to go real hard.
Damn. Yeah, we have to do something. We'll do something special
50 years
for that.
of Star Wars. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, but even 50 years later, like maintaining the style.
Yes.
The style held itself up
it feels
really well.
Yeah, it has its own aesthetic.
It's like this like retro futuristic.
Yeah.
But like a lot of retro futurism is distinct from Star Wars. So like
they've managed their own feel.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know. That was what was really fun about the park was that everything they clearly had a lot of people in the same camp as me who understood what felt like Star Wars.
Right.
Because everything felt like Star Wars. It didn't feel vaguely sci-fi or vaguely desert or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, no, this is Star Wars. Side note, I was gonk hunting because, of course,
Yeah.
I wanted to see all the gonks. But for whatever reason, every time, there was a few in the park. But for whatever reason, whenever I went by the first few, there was just people blocking them, so I didn't see them. So the only gonk I found for a significant portion of the day was the one upside down being got. And I was like,
You're like, that's not my favorite gonk.
No, seeing the gonk being tormented. And so I was just sitting there staring at it like, am I really going to have to take a smiling photo with the sad gonk? Is this really where my life is right now? So I did, thinking like, I was like, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
But I later found happy upright gonks.
Aww.
And I was like, yay. And then I'm not enough sure that I want to say this is 100% positive, but like a lot of places in Disney, they have like impressions in the concrete.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of the concrete impressions were little gonk feet.
Oh,
they looked like
sure.
gonk feet. And
I'm sure they did.
oh
Gonk feet are
goodness.
iconic.
Yeah. So, no, I like I love like finishing touches, stuff like that. They could have just left it blank, but instead they're like, what if we had little gonk feet walking up and anyway. So that was fun. I liked your game. I'm going to now think of a way to torture you next time.
Matt, I think I think you did better than I did with the quotes, but
well, that's harder.
Yeah.
I think I made you finish them. So,
but on the subject of aesthetic, it's actually like a shout out to AMG's terrain design, as I always feel like it's really good at having a Star Wars feel.
yes.
But I did my modifications to a maintenance bay.
Okay.
And this is the first time that you get to see it.
Ayo.
So-
Oh. Okay. Okay, you know what was really funny?
Yeah.
This was sitting there the whole time,
Yeah.
and I was looking at it.
You didn't realize it was the maintenance bay?
No, I did not. Well, sort of. This is what actually
Yeah.
my brain did. Oh, don't be mean to me about this, but I'm looking at it and I go, oh my God, AMG released a new terrain maintenance bay part 2. I didn't know about it. And now Omnis is going to make me talk about a thing that I didn't know came out. So I actually feel a sense of relief that this is not.
I'm not going to make fun of you about that. Like, that's a compliment.
I know you wouldn't make fun of me about it, but like I was
That's
like,
a compliment
I
that
was stressing.
it wasn't immediately obvious that it was just the maintenance bay.
No, I felt like, oh, it was maintenance bay inspired, but no. I like this. I like this piece. I feel like this will be an excellent addition to any table. Well, any of your tables. Really.
Yeah, very, very, very functional. I was really happy with how this turned out. If you flip it, you can kind of see. So what I did is I just like cut that piece in half. I mean, you can actually fit the whole thing under here, but I wanted this for potential storage.
Sure. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And then that comes off for...
His arms were cut off. His legs were cut off.
So that it's easier to fit and like not break.
That's genius. Very smart. 30 big brain.
And then this isn't done, but I wanted to show you the work in progress for what I'm doing with the rest of it. So,
Ayo. Ooh.
So instead of having that whole wall of things, I actually combine them into like one piece of terrain. So it'll be a different piece of terrain, and that's going to go on the Mustafar table, and I'm going to have it look like a whole burned off walkway. And so
I don't know if this fits your mental design.
Okay.
But there was a part in Disney where I don't think this spoils anything, but you're rescued during the ride by a Jedi blast or like lasering through the door and leaving the singe. It would be kind of go hard if you made it look like a lightsaber cut through part of it. Not just like the lava, but like, because like I was surprised. And I think you felt the same way when I sent you a picture of the door and you're like, I want to paint that door.
Yeah.
When I saw how they made the like lightsaber crust look, I was like, I want to replicate that.
Yeah.
That looks so fun. So I'm just looking at this and being like, great place to put lightsaber cut marks.
Yeah.
Whoop. Anyway, sorry. But that is very cool. I also think another piece of terrain that I do really like the idea of a gantry that ends in a different piece that's not the like round edge or the
But yeah, so I'm gonna Dremel this down and like kind of like stylize this whole damaged area, and then it's gonna look like it was totally like burned off. Ooh. So it can still connect to other stuff on this side.
Sure.
But I really liked how these looked, and I was really happy that they I honestly would not be surprised with how this was designed, that someone stopped and went, we should make this in a way that people can do other things with it. And go, hey, we're going to go for artistic design, but also have it be flexible. Because it's been really easy for this to not work. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's just going to like look super natural in the end, and it won't even like necessarily feel like modded terrain. But I feel like when these two pieces are totally done, that people are going to regret assembling their maintenance bay different ways. FOMO. Like they're going to.
I have to buy a second maintenance bay.
Yeah, this actually makes me want to get another maintenance bay to use these things on other tables. Especially, can you imagine like two of these were like burnt out in the middle, right?
Dang.
It would look dope. But I had kind of like set this as a lower priority because my Mustafar table probably feels the most complete and the most perfect. The thought process is this will replace one of just like the little pieces that's like at the end of a gantry. Yes. You know, I'll just replace it with this and I'll use that terrain for like a different table, because I think that the Mustafar table has enough. But I feel like I'm searching for ways to make things feel unique and different. And I was really happy with how this was coming together. And so originally I wasn't going to like show you on this, but I did a little more work on this today, and I was like,
liking it, digging it.
And I'm not sure if you noticed, but like these are the little like barriers that are supposed to go on the gantries, but I did it to kind of like expand and like widen it a little bit. But I'm just happy with how it's coming along.
Yes, that looks great.
Yeah.
I thought that was okay. Yep.
And it's also to brace it, like it connected kind of perfectly with this piece.
No,
and
it looks
so like
good. Looks part of it.
Looks very natural. And I was like, it was just like a random. Was part of
it, so.
Yeah. So
didn't even.
Yeah, I'm excited. It was just low. It was lower priority because I basically switched into late last week. I decided that I was not going to dig deep on the Navarro table because that's supposed to be more of an art project.
Sure.
And I didn't want to rush it. So I'm like, all right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use terrain and stuff that I have, and I'm going to round out each of the tables for evergreen.
Okay.
And so like you even saw in my bathroom is a bunch of brown boxes. I had like 3 brown boxes for the Tatooine table, and I kept finding that I wanted a couple of more, but I couldn't remember exactly what browns I used. So let me paint 2 more of them and repaint the other ones so that they all match. And I was just like adding little bits to each table to kind of round them out and go, okay, what else fits in the box with the Tatooine stuff? What else fits in the box with the turquoise stuff? And that's been like my project for the last couple of days. Just kind of trying to add a little bit to each table. And it's definitely hit me in the last few days. Because like, I think all of this is unnecessary.
I have a deep respect for and a high degree of jealousy of how much time you get to spend hobbying. It is very cool. And push back on that. Technically, none of this is necessary.
Yes.
Technically, nothing we do other than breathe and eat and sleep is necessary. So, counterpoint, this is super necessary because it brings us joy.
Yeah, my point is I think in general, people would be very happy with my tables at Evergreen. But part of the reason why I have so many tables, and I love that with me basically having 6 complete tables and you having 2,
it's in my car. We
can do a 16-person tournament with just our terrain.
That's
no reliance on anyone else. And 16 people is kind of a perfect, like it's a solid number. That's a 4-round tournament, right? In Swiss. And I think just having that at our disposal means that in a lot of ways, we are not contingent on anything else for us to being able to like run a cool Shatterpoint event.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I did little things. I'm not sure if you saw the pictures, but you remember how you marked the ingress points on your 2 tables?
I did, yeah.
I finally went through and I did that on all of my tables.
Oh, nice.
And I chose a different color for basically every single one of them that like vibed
with the very nice.
So yeah, and I like kind of marked where I wanted you measuring ingress and stuff from across all of the terrain. And so, yeah, I'm just feeling like it's very complete. Because obviously the reason why I have so many tables is in big part for stuff like Evergreen.
Sure.
So that's been my project the last few days and kind of rounding out each of those things. And I'm very happy with how it's coming across and both not stressing myself out either, trying to like get stuff done.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, technically you don't need to do anything, right? Yeah. Because it's ready to go. But like this is all like icing on the cake. Yeah.
And I would like to get this piece done. I do think it's really cool. And I would like to, and I don't think I have most of the rest of the stuff that I wanted to get done. And like, there's one piece sitting on the counter right over there that it's like, I need to do some like dry brushing on the silver and stuff and then matte coat it, but it's basically done. I think I actually need to do, I think I just did like the thicker like the bigger areas. I hit them with a wash and I didn't go through and like wash the smaller steel areas. And so I think I need to do that and then do some dry brushing. But I'm pretty close to done with all of the little things that I want to get done. So I think I have time to work on this bad boy before the event. Did you decide, like you keep going back and forth on whether you can play on Friday? Do you think you're playing games on Friday?
Please hold while I consult my data pad.
You had like we were having a conversation and you were both like, "Nope, I can't do anything on Friday now." Wait a second, no, I do have Friday.
Yes. The part of that you weren't privy to because you weren't with me was me rescheduling a lot of stuff to try to have Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I had to sacrifice in order to get.
I think Friday and Saturday will be more fun for you anyway.
And that means I'm very busy tomorrow and I'm very busy Thursday. But then I have Friday and Saturday. I need you and everyone else to understand the extraordinary lengths I had to go to get 2 consecutive days off.
Well, you deserve it. But I do know how hard you've been working.
Yeah.
And how much of a priority it must be to make this happen for you to like actually have weekend days.
Yeah. 2 days in a row.
Well, right now also the way that the math is looking out, because we had another person from Zion's Finest kind of sign up last minute who's not in the Longshanks yet. That would put us to 17 and you're not in there. So you put us to even. So with you playing in it, that actually means 18. Which I actually think is a really cool number because I think we were 19 last year. And in a world where almost all events have dropped by like a third, I'm excited that Evergreen is essentially, if we end up at 18 versus 19, that's essentially the same size. So just having us not lose in a time period where lots of events have gotten a bit smaller, it just says something about our community. Do you have any thoughts on like what you're going to play? Is it going to be Padme and Luminara plus something?
Here's the deal. I wasn't sure I was going to be playing.
Yeah.
Until very recently. I worked very hard to get those days off. And then I've been in a blur of working to try to make sure I can keep those days off.
Yes.
What I'm going to be playing is what is ready.
Yeah.
And because I do not think I will have 5 seconds to do anything new, which is sad, but true. So probably my teams that are ready, my ladies, and then my rebels. I'm very happy with them. I love them. I might want to borrow a couple for you if we do trilogy stuff. But I do have my teams. Cool. And it means I don't have to like stress myself out that I don't know, like I have to learn something new. And, because I've learned my lesson. I broke myself on that, I think, twice of like, let me just show up to a tournament something I've never played before. Just so try not to do that to myself anymore. I'm not mentally stable enough for that.
I like that Padme Luminara list.
Me too. And I like how they're painted. I think they're gorge. So should be fun. I totally forgot I had to actually sign up. I bought a ticket to the event. And then I forgot I had to sign up for the actual. I bought a ticket to the convention. Didn't sign up for the
event. I will add you to the event and you don't have to worry about it.
Sick. Sick. I am the worst kind of event attendee. Just not sign. Because I, as a tournament organizer, complain about this all the time. Yeah. Why can't people sign up ahead of time so that I know who's coming? And then here I am, literally like a couple days before.
To be fair, it's not like you knew you were coming.
True.
You have just been like, I don't want to sign up and disappoint people.
Yes, that's true. That's fair. I guess I'll cut myself some slack. I genuinely, you're
genuinely being like, you've bought a ticket, but you're just like, I don't want to sign up until I'm like sure.
I bought the ticket because I was like, I was fairly positive I could show up for an amount of time.
Yeah,
and I was like, even if I don't, I want to financially support this local show because that's important to me. So I was like, I don't feel bad about that, even if I didn't make it. But like signing up on Longshanks felt more like declaring I'd be there.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't want to do that if I'm going to drop. So because that is my other least favorite thing people do is like last minute drop.
Yeah.
Not because I'm like curse you for having a life, but just because it's like hard to backwards track things. I mean, you get it. You know, but I'm preaching to the choir here. But anyway, so I will be there barring craziness. But who I don't even know. We're gonna just enjoy ourselves, and maybe I'll chat with everybody about what my Star Wars alter ego outfit can look like. Maybe it'll include a fun hat, because holy cow, it's sunny and Anaheim.
Yeah. I think both times I went was around 4th of July, which can definitely burn a vampire.
Yeah. I think I spent more time shopping there than I really needed to because the shopping areas were air conditioned.
Yes, totally fair. By the way, you haven't commented. I have a B1 shirt now.
What?
Did you?
I didn't even. I feel so
Geonosis
bad.
Droid Foundries.
It's so good. I bought some Star Wars shirts while I'm there. I'm going to show them to you, but that one's maybe better. Now I looked for like droid stuff.
Yeah.
I looked for droid stuff. I looked for Grievous stuff. I looked for like Kylo Ren stuff. I found a lot of not that.
I specifically did not show you my Grievous shirt in advance or my B1 shirt in advance because I wanted to show you in person. And wear it for
it's excellent, and I love the orange.
Yeah.
I have said many times my favorite color is yellow, and my favorite like scheme is sunset, so yellow to red. Yeah.
I needed more stuff that goes with this hat. Is probably one of my like best fitting hats at the moment.
Well, orange is such a good color, so
yeah, and I like orange is probably my lightsaber color. So
yeah.
So I like when I see stuff that like has an orange tone to it in Star Wars, I'm definitely in. But all right.
Sick.
We're like 50 minutes in and have not done the main topic yet. So we should probably get to that. What I wanted to talk about was, so you remember a couple weeks back, maybe like 3 weeks back
and definitely
now, because you had brought up in the episode the level of intimacy that actually comes with playing a 1v1 game with someone.
Right, like platonic intimacy.
Yeah, platonic intimacy. Then I was definitely thinking of like this. I feel like this is a topic that we could dig into more. And then it must have been like 3 or 4 days later, I was watching like a random Warhammer video on YouTube, just kind of absorbing nerd stuff.
Sure.
And the guy started talking about how he felt about tournaments and the kind of time constraints. And as someone who's kind of always been a tournament player to a certain extent, like very early on in my Star Wars Minis days, we were just doing tournaments and events every week. And I forget what our timing rules even were exactly.
Sure.
I remember being very against chess clocks back in the day. And then trying to play War Machine under different timing rules. I hated it and thought chess clocks were so much better when we finally switched to that. And then obviously the MCP and Shatterpoint and their relationship with like how to, because I also run tournaments and you got to keep shit on time. But fundamentally, it is harder to socialize in a time restricted situation.
Sure.
Right. And so that's kind of what I wanted to dig into a little bit. And it's like, what are your initial thoughts before I just keep talking more? Like, because you've played in some tournaments, you've played in Warhammer tournaments, you've played in AOS tournaments, you've played in Shatterpoint events. Do you think that the tournament format and timed rounds like hurts the level of like socialization and that, platonic intimacy?
Well, if organizing a game with your friend is the quintessential platonic date.
Yeah.
Right? You go, you meet, you do an activity together. Usually you eat,
We do like sustenance. That's a thing.
Usually we eat, sometimes we drink. Ultimate platonic date. We did a thing together, enjoyed our time. Tournament scenario. This is now speed dating.
Yep.
And speed dating, side note, I'm going to beat your ass at this. So, yeah, it's different.
Yeah. I'm better at speed dating than you are.
This thing that we're both doing together, better than you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like one of the first things when I started thinking about this was one of the challenges of, as I was trying to be as good as I could at War Machine, and I would go to tournaments, and I think I've told you this story before, but I have a distinct memory of, like, because I was a podcaster, there wasn't very many podcasters at the time, people would definitely come up and introduce themselves to me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people, and one instance in particular, I remembered someone coming up to me right before round 2 or round 3. And I'm in the mindset of like, I want to fucking win this event.
Get it.
They came up and said hi. And I remember being very like polite to them and like, oh, it was really great to meet you. And then got into the mode for the game. And I just forgot their name, forgot basically everything about the conversation. It never got saved to long-term memory because I had to switch into that like tournament mode.
Yeah.
Immediately. And there was a part of that always bugged me, where I was always kind of upset at myself that because of the tournament format and stuff, I didn't put enough value on that interaction to like save it, essentially. Like it didn't actually get saved. That file just got closed, And I don't know, that's something that's stuck with me more than, like, I couldn't tell you which convention that was at, and I couldn't tell you what my next game was. But in the long term, I remember feeling like I dropped the ball socially with this person because I couldn't just be like, hey, Bob,
Yeah. Yeah, when I do that, I mentally refer to it as clicking through the dialogue tree too fast.
Yeah.
Just like, hey. And then you're like, oh, crap. I don't remember anything that they said. So I feel you.
Yeah. So it just got me thinking about like, and I mean, I don't know what the solution is because I definitely like the social part of games, but you also don't want one game to go on forever. So
you're experiencing a problem unique to you in this duo that we have here. I'm always in the loser's bracket. So it doesn't matter anymore. Once you're in the loser's bracket, now we're just having a good time, and maybe not if it's like the second game because it's just people have redemption tracks. But if you're like in the 0-1 and you're not making it to a top table, we've all got our loss out of the way. If you pass the 0-2, yeah, we've got our loss out of the way. We're just gonna like where someone else who just lost, and unless you happen to get paired into the like another super top table, we're just having a good time now. So like I'm so sorry, relate to you as much in this because when I go, I view the time constraint differently. Yeah. Instead of it being like, all right, I have this much time to play the game. I'm like, internally, I'm like, I have this much time to prove that I know how to play and make this person like me at the same time. And so like, I don't get as much of that time pressure thing. It does take away in the same way of like, I feel the pressure of having a limited amount of time. Yeah. But I think I just have a different, I lack the ultra competitive lens of feeling like I need to fulfill 2 things at the same time. I don't envy you that. That's a hard camp to be in. Yeah. Thinking about it now, I don't think I've been 0-2 in any event that I've ever played in. Okay.
Like, I've definitely...
You hear that? That's a challenge. Get this man.
I've definitely gone, like, I've started a lot of tournaments 0-1.
Sure.
I've lost first round in a lot of tournaments, but most cases when that happens, I'm like, I'm fucking going X-1 now.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And I've had tournaments where, like, I remember there was an LVO in War Machine where I was 1-2 and dropped to do commentary for stuff. And sure. I obviously, like, my first GT, I went 2-2. So, like, it's not
sure,
like, but I was 1-0, then far between. Yeah, then 1-1, then 1-2, then 2-2. But I don't think in any game that I've ever played have I ever gone to a tournament and actually lost first round, then also lost second round. And so that is a fair assessment that it is definitely different when you, like, often we'll call it, like, drinking bracket, where you can just vibe. But I don't know, the whole thing just got me thinking about, like, how you manage, because I do love the social part of the game, right? Like, getting to know the other person, joking around with them, talking about stuff. Yeah. And
well, like, I have buddies who are some of the best players, like, for Warhammer. I mean, I can say this for Shatterpoint too. Best players in the country. Yeah. And
we're talking about Donovan right now, for the record.
100%.
Yeah.
But any of my friends in the 40K verse have told me that there's a bell curve when it comes to the competitive ability, right? And there's, like, very few really, really, really good players, like that top percentage, and then there's very few, like, really, really bad players. Most of them are in the lower end, but they always tell me that, like, the drinking bracket, as you call it, the games are so fun and so chill.
Yeah.
The like 20 people in the whole, like, 250 person tournament at the top, games are so chill. But the, like, 50 people who are trying to be at the top is where games are not chill. Is what I have heard. The people who are, like, clawing their way up but haven't, like, proven themselves yet, those games tend to be intense because they, like, really feel like they have something to prove. But, like, the people who are just there for a good time are just there for a good time. And then the, like, people who feel like they've already proven themselves are more relaxed, I guess. And
100%
don't have kind of this, like, I got it, like, don't talk to me, I'm locked in right now kind of thing. And so, like, I think the most terrifying thing I could think of is if I was in one of those big tournaments and my friend who was, like, I don't know, 3-1 was like, will you play my 5th game? I'd be like, I'd rather jump. You mean like, be in the, like, redemption bracket? That sounds terrifying. Be in with someone else who's also 3-1. They like you said, you need to win if you're at that 3-1 zone. So it's like, that's where I think I would be the most frightened of another player. But, like, I'm not scared in that sense at tournaments because I'm aware I'm usually the least competitive player at a tournament. Like, most people come to tournaments to, like, prove themselves in a way, even if it's not like, they don't think, oh, I'm going to win this whole thing. They'll have, like, goals that are competitive. And I specifically don't. And so I just want to be a good opponent to those people and not, like, have a moment of, like, well, I won my game, but, like, that wasn't even a good warm up,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we just have very different lenses for tournament play. And I do think that one, if you will permit me a criticism of Shatterpoint, one thing that Shatterpoint really struggles with that games like 40K have figured out better is the team format and the narrative format.
No, I mean, I 100% agree. Like, I think that is an absolutely fair criticism.
And 40K tournaments, I can always join the narrative where there's no prize for winning for anything. And you're literally just there to have, like, you contribute to an overall story across the entire tournament. Like, there's, like, this unified story that everyone's telling together. And that is always really fun because everyone is literally there to like facilitate storytelling through the game. And Shatterpoint tournaments don't really have that. It is for the sake of winning. And that is something that, again, permitting me a criticism to a player like me is off-putting. Where I kind of have to almost apologize for my presence in a way of like, I'm sorry, I'm not in the same caliber as y'all. I'm not even in the same headspace as y'all. I just like playing this game with people. It feels weird. I would rather there was a narrative format of Shatterpoint that I could be a part of, because I think that I would A, be more eager to join it, and B, feel more confident being a part of it. But that's not something that really has a place.
Yeah, I do think that was their goal with Key Operations, which, to be entirely fair, I haven't played any of their Key Operations missions, but there is a more narrative thing. Now, maybe this, because we hadn't picked a topic for the bonus episode, but maybe I'm going to poke you with some questions about what a narrative format is truly like. Because I personally haven't ever participated in something purely narrative, because it's like it hasn't existed in the same way in all of the games that I've played. Sure. Like it seems to exist, and I hear like Chris and Steve. Yeah. Right. They talk about it at Mox. They talk about wanting to play in like the Warhammer narrative event. So like there's nothing that stops us from making something like this happen. I know people.
We know that.
But like I definitely get that. And like there are definitely days where I'm just like, I just want to come in and like fuck around with the character that I just painted. And I don't want to care about playing against the absolute best thing. And like that's why we all took a break locally from playing Cassian and Boss, like for multiple months, like during the high point of them just like destroying all lists. We're like, we want to play other things. Why don't we all just agree to not play these two primaries? If new people want to play them, fine, but we're going to take a break from it because we just want to explore other stuff, and we don't want to be feeling like we have to be only playing lists that can hang with Cassian. Thankfully that part is past, but the things that you got me thinking about was, you know, we've just been talking so long that now like my brain is shooting off in different directions. I think there's a relaxing part of a tournament where you just like, you don't have to be worrying about asking someone for games.
Yes.
You know that you have games and you get to go to games. But I think there's a very important element of like, it's still got to be in a time frame where you feel like you can just have fun.
Yeah.
And I do think that is a very important thing on TOs and stuff, to make sure that you're not rushing through this stuff, making sure that people can get to a game, they can have fun. That's part of why I like marked mats. Like, let's take a setup thing out of it, so you have more time for the game and the experience, and less time like getting everything ready and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, fundamentally, what it came all back to is the Warhammer guy was kind of like, I don't think I'm going to do tournaments as much anymore, because you just don't end up with time for the social aspect. But I think you brought up some really good points, that when you're playing to win, that, you know, you may not have the time for it. But I will say, like, not to like blow smoke up my own ass, but like, I remember my first lock and load for War Machine. I lost a very close game round 1. And I was like, well, maybe I could still qualify for Masters if I go X and 1. And game 2, I forget what turn it was, but like my opponent finished their turn and I was like, so you did not use your feat? Because it's a once per game ability that your leader can use. And they were playing a defensive team that it seemed like this was the turn that they wanted to use their defense. They were positioning like they were going to use it, but never said they were going to use it. And I was like, so you didn't put a token down. You didn't say that you were going to do it. what did you want to do? And they're like, oh shit, I definitely meant to feat. And I was like, okay, just put the token down and we'll keep playing as though you used your feat. Even though I really fucking wanted to go X and 1. I was like, if I beat this guy because he just forgot to say that he feated when he clearly positioned everything
to do so,
I take pride in some of those moments where I was like, yeah, if I need you to make that level of mistake for me to win, then I probably don't fucking belong in Masters anyway. I will at least say, of all of my games, even when I lose round 1, even in the games where, because like trying to like make Top Cut and Shatterpoint, like we'll often not record the undefeated versus undefeated at the end of Top Cut. You're like, they're both making it in.
Sure.
Right. So you kind of want to go to the X and 1 bracket and record them because they're playing the game where they really care about it. But I can't think of any of my like X and 1 games that felt contentious or felt uncomfortable. There's one game from my War Machine history where we were all playing in this qualifier to play in War Machine weekend, and only one person got in. I can't remember. I think it was top 8, and the last 25% of the game was fucking miserable because my opponent, like, it started off totally fine, but like by the end of it, it was just like the dude was just trying to like gotcha me on anything he possibly could.
Nice.
And he apologized like a year or two later where he was like, dude, I kind of ended up being a dick at the end of that thing. So like that kind of stuff, like it does definitely happen.
Well, I wouldn't say contentious is the word I'd want to describe to those X and 1 games. It's more like you're locked in.
Yeah.
You have a focus that's not making friends, which is the point. So it's not like a condemnation. It's just like, of course, your number one goal at X and 1 when you're trying to do well isn't, I'm here to buddy. It's, I'm trying to do what I came here to do. So it's not that it's contentious. It's just like, to go back to your point of like casual intimacy, like this is less of that. Not in a way that makes it less important, but just in a way that makes it different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it does definitely just got me thinking about like how I use the time. Like obviously like we have a local community that's doing pretty reasonably well and getting in games and getting a chance to like talk about the games. And it's also why I think a level of like after a local tournament or even a convention tournament, like how much I love the hangs and stuff afterwards where you're like, oh, well, we were playing a timed tournament. I really think that, and this is a thing that I think we have to do better about post-COVID. I think we did it a lot more pre-COVID, and post-COVID, it feels like a lot of people go home right away. Like they've reached their extent of being away from home. And I think when you just do a tournament and you don't have the hangs and you don't have the camaraderie building, I think that can lead to communities falling apart.
Sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Trying to keep people in the game, you know, metaphorically and not just in the game literally is sometimes a effortful endeavor, especially like it's a long day. You're probably on your feet the whole time. You did a lot of just like mental effort and work. And so trying to be like, okay, now stay longer can seem a little daunting, especially if you had goals going into it to do well and now you're like 1 and 2 or 0 and 3 or whatever. So like I understand that it's not a reasonable ask of everyone, but I think most of the time, you know, you'll find that you feel better from talking to people about it. Because almost certainly you say after there's another 1 and 2 who feels the same way that you do and is happy to talk about it. But also like, I think, especially as a more casual player who hangs out with very competitive players, hearing them describe their game to me I get like a second-hand enjoyment off of it. And they are very excited to explain it to me. And I get like, enjoyment from their excitement as well. So like that part, I think people miss out on if they leave right away because it's like fresh in your mind, right? And, I love it when people get hyped to the point where they start like making lightsaber actions with like just unconsciously, and that part's really great. I think if you feel like tournaments lose casual intimacy because of time constraints, it's almost like running a race and then afterwards you cross the finish line and just leave versus afterwards you cross the finish line and then like, talk to all the other runners, you have that like runner's high and you're like, hey, so that part, I absolutely agree with you. Even if you can't stay for a long time, almost give yourself a cool down,
Yeah.
And like it's very easy to let yourself be talked at too, which sounds bad, but like if I feel like I've hit a little bit of a wall.
What's the meme of the guy and the girl at the party where he's like holding her and like
but like if you do like genuinely like sometimes when I'm like I've hit a wall and I need a second to come back, just asking someone a bunch of follow-up questions until you get your mojo back of like you could start really small of like, did you win your game? Or how did your game go?
That's also just good podcasting advice.
Sure.
Like, I don't have anything interesting to say. Let me just ask some questions for a hot minute.
But like, you just latch on to whatever the last thing someone said was and then make them elaborate. And then eventually feel like they'll either say something that you feel compelled to answer or you'll just be like, you know what? Okay, I feel like I've like come down enough like emotionally that I can go home. But I think that part is so valuable as well, and like becoming bonded with the community that you're a part of, because I don't think hardly anyone who plays minis games is in it just to win the game and not to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think we're all on this sliding scale of each aspect, right? Like there's some degree where you want to show off your team, which could be your list, which could be your paint job, could be your basing scheme.
Sure.
Like there's a degree of just like, hey, this is the thing that I made. Mm-hmm. And you want to do that. Sure, and there's this like definitely a desire to just be around other people, connect with people. I've always been a person who makes friends through my hobbies.
Yeah. I
always get really passionately into stuff. And then the other people who are enjoying it, I'm like, yes, hang out with me. Like,
birds of a feather.
We could, like, I definitely spent a lot of years playing World of Warcraft and stuff. Like, you can definitely just do solo missions in a game if you want that. But it is different. And there was a reason why I left Magic the Gathering for miniature games, where I remember I played in a Magic the Gathering tournament. I remember having a game where I'm like, I barely think my opponent spoke a word to me.
Yeah.
Then I got into a miniatures community and we were giving each other shit and laughing, and the camaraderie at the game we were playing was fucking intoxicating.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do more of this.
Yep.
And yeah, you dig into that kind of stuff and you want that kind of stuff. And I think it's, on one hand, I had this problem in War Machine where when you start creating goals like I want to make top cut, mm-hmm. or I want to win this event, or I want to go X and 1, and you set this goal for yourself, and I forget who said it, but it was another thing that I heard from Trevor Noah in one of his podcasts. He was repeating someone else, but he's like, if you, I can't remember the exact quote. It was basically, if you tell me what the goal is, I will tell, or then I'll tell you what the outcome will be. Like if you say, hey, this is what you're trying to do, then you can probably predict how that's going to make people behave. And it's gamification. And one of the things I noticed in myself is, as I was setting goals to win, I was realizing the reason why I was going to conventions is because I was chasing those great games.
Yeah.
Right. And if you start going, I hope I get an easy opponent round one.
Yeah.
Then you're not chasing the great game. You're chasing an easy game, which is not why you went. And I think
That's
this
a
actually,
great point.
yeah, like, and I think it's really easy to go like do that where you go to a tournament and you're like, God, I hope I don't get Kenny round one or whatever. I hope I don't play Omnis round one or whatever. Not that I'm comparing myself to Kenny. But if you notice that you start hitting that mindset of wanting the easier games because the numbers are what matters, then does it actually, like, are you changing, like, do you need to change your priorities? And what I love about miniatures games is the great games.
Yeah.
And that's what I truly want to chase. And I think this is kind of off topic, but it's just, I think if we step back and we just value being a part of great games, if you make that the priority, and that's not a, I don't think that's a casual or a competitive thing to say. I think casual people want to be a part of like a really exciting, fun, close game. And I think competitive people also want that.
Well, yeah, like there's a reason why usually the first question asked after you find out a friend lost their game is, was it a good game?
Yeah.
It's like that takes the sting out of losing, is if it was a good game.
Yeah.
And I agree, it's not competitive or casual to want good games. And like, since I do hang out with a lot of high caliber, like players of all sorts of games, wanting to be the best at it, but still only wanting good games, to me is the pinnacle of competitive gameplay. Because like, I know every niche about this game. I know every like character sheet. I know like everything. And then when I have a game, I'm just like in awe of how perfectly everyone moved. And we got to see this thing done to its extreme. And it was like so fun and engaging. And like maybe you lost, but like you saw something done to perfection. That's really cool versus, you know, like what you said of, you know, I won.
Yeah.
But at what cost, right?
Right. One of the games, like, so this was a Marvel Crisis Protocol game, not Shatterpoint, but I was going to the Lone Star Open in Dallas, I believe. Dallas, I'm pretty sure it was Dallas. And round one, I got an opponent that I didn't know who they were.
Okay.
And my cocky fucking ass was immediately like, great, I'm gonna crush this person. Because that happens a lot when you know the community and you're like, I don't recognize this person at all. Great.
Got him.
And I was fucking sweating balls the whole game. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like this guy is really good. And I was like, damn, like this is my round one game. And I did win the game, but it was incredibly close. Tough. And then I immediately like wanted to talk to this person more, and like they did listen to the podcast. And then I found out like, oh, like you and I actually know a bunch of the same people, and so I kind of know your competitive background. And now that person works for AMG as like the content creator marketing person.
Oh my gosh.
But like we became friends afterwards, and like we're talking, like when we went to like Panera, I think, for lunch that day, and I specifically sat by him and wanted to just talk and get to know him.
That's awesome.
Because that game left such an impression on me. I was like, I just want to
still remember this.
I want to talk to this guy more.
That's amazing.
And very much like appreciated the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I definitely like my friendship with Amon is definitely more important to me than the win in that game. But yeah, I was like, that was just a really good game, and that was a highlight of the convention for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's you remember the good fights more than, you know, games you just won.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to get in on this topic before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. I think that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it just got me thinking about how I use my time and what's important to me in the gaming space, and getting to know people, and just make a good use of it. And I don't like when things are too tightly packed and like there isn't space to breathe and meet people. And maybe that doesn't matter as much for the introverts, but for me, I do. Meeting people and getting to know people and making friends in the community is really important to me.
People are everything.
Yeah. As much as I do love my little plastic toys.
It's true.
I love the community. So, all right. Well, we will wrap things up there. I hope this got you thinking. And please tell me how you did in the little Star Wars challenge that I put Sin through. She fucking crushed 10 out of 11.
Did you beat me?
Yeah.
Yes or
damn.
no?
I thought I would get you on more of those for sure.
I'm with it. I'm with the Star Wars vibe.
Yeah, you get the Star Wars vibe. So let me know if you got to 10 out of 11. Like I said, she had no idea what I was bringing on her at all.
Nope. You said, I'm going to play a game. And I was like, what is this, Saw? Okay, let's play a game.
And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would appreciate you hitting subscribe. I think I need like 32 more, 42, 38, something right around 40 or less to hit that final stage with YouTube. So I'd really appreciate it if you just hit the subscribe button. And we'll close it out there. Later, nerds.
Comm signal lost.